G'day folks. Now it's a nice chilly Wednesday afternoon. Not so chilly in here. I've got the heat pump and everything powered up, so we'll keep fairly warm. But yeah, I tried to put up an update last night, but it kind of fizzled again. YouTube's just been a bit of a bitch lately with uploading. Either that or maybe I've got a minor connection problem again, but everything else seems to be perfectly stable. Like, I was watching videos all night and it was fine. But just for some reason every now and then a long video will fizzle, so we'll see how this one goes. But anyway, I'm still here. The environmental police haven't arrested me or killed me, so it's all good. I know some people had a disagreement with me about burning electronics, and I don't disagree with them when they say that the toxins coming out of them are bad. I know they're bad and I don't feel particularly good about that aspect of it, but considering how many parts per million that stuff breaks down to once it dissipates with the air, the quantity that I burnt was negligible at most. It's not like I was burning it all night. I just threw those two items in there along with the heating oil and a few little bits of like diffuser from LCDs and things that I was going to shred before I broke the shredder. That was about it. After that I just kept feeding it old wood that Dad's been bringing home from job sites. There's nothing wrong with a wood fire. I know it's carbon neutral, but it kept me warm all afternoon. I turned the floodlights on and I made use of it. I tied it up around the backyard. So yeah, that's my little piece on that one. Don't get too upset if I do burn a few electronics and things once or twice a year. That's about all I really do, about 2 or 3 times a year most, and I won't just go and grab a massive plastic casing or something, just throw it on there for the hell of it. That's boring. I'd rather a bit of capacitor popcorn. Anyway, I've finally finished my computer, last finishing touch, a little loom cover and a fan grill on the main chassis fan, so that is working very well now, nice and cool, and my movie maker doesn't crash anywhere near as much. Because I'd noticed the fan would be screaming from the second I load up Corel Video Studio, and as soon as I go to save the file properly, it just go bang. It'd fully reboot the computer, and that full reboot must have been it going into overheat mode and just full safe shutdown. So yeah, that's all stopped now, so that's really good. Anyway, definitely a few people asked me about the EDM at work, Electrical Discharge Machine Center, and we are definitely scrapping it now. It's getting disconnected soon. I'm going to give the boss a few dollars for what I can pull out of it, and I'll have myself another nice 3-axis DRO. This one with small scales, so I can mount it on a small machine. That last one I got has giant scales on it. I can't even mount them on the turret lathe, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm going to have my pick of whatever I want out of it, apart from the new Delta Electronics and the 3-phase motor and ball screw that we put in there to try and resurrect it. Terry's going to pull all that out again and we'll use it around the workshop. Same with the push button station for the spindle up and down and a few other bits and pieces. I don't mind. I've got enough stop start stations and things anyway. So yeah, that's all coming apart very soon. What else? I've got some magnet wire, so I'm going to need some schooling on Tesla coils. The only one I've ever built from it was from a kit, so a kit's pretty damn easy when it's already designed and laid out for you. So I've got some 0.25, and I think that's even finer. That's like 0.15. I just got to run a few layers off the spool because it's damaged, and they're very old spools. It's made by somewhere in Japan, Shower Electric Wire and Cable, Japan. It's fairly good stuff. So yeah, we'll do some Tesla coils soon. And likewise, I want to have another look at that. I do believe it is a TTL monitor, and I need to find a signal or signal generator, which will probably be in the form of the Digital Electronic Corporation DECmate 3 that I have in my bedroom at the moment. It doesn't have a monitor, but I'm sure I could find a video signal out on it. I just need a working oscilloscope. The one I had was I never had the leads for it, so I gave that away. I'll just have to figure something out. But yeah, that monitor should power up once I get a signal to it. What else? Just working on my VFD. Got 3-phase plug. That's Australian 3-phase, by the way, without the neutral in the centre. If you want 240 volts on your 3-phase, you need the neutral pin, and you tap 1 phase to neutral. Between any 2 phases, 415 volts, 50 Hertz. Any phase to neutral is 240 volts, 50 Hertz. and the centre bottom pin is ground. And that's a 20 amp plug, so it's got a flat on it instead of a little square land sticking up. And that's the female plug with a neutral, but no connection to the VFD, because the VFD doesn't put out neutral at all. It's just 3 phases for running electric motors only. So yeah, of course if you're wiring them up, don't ever wire 2 phases and expect to get 240 volts. You'll get 415 and magic smoke will come out of whatever you connect it to that's 240 volts, like power supplies. A good friend of mine's a generator technician, and they commissioned a generator in the bottom of a telecom call centre building. It was a very big one, had a big V12 Cat diesel or something on it, and the Sparkies didn't hook up the connections in the main distribution panel properly. They had 2 of these arse about, so they had 2 lives feeding the 240 volt bank. Guess what happened when he turned that generator on? Pop! All of the computers in the offices, all of the server rooms, everything just lit up like a fireworks factory. All he knew about it was just this guy on the walkie-talkie screaming, "Shut it down, shut it down!" And yeah, apparently it would have been pretty spectacular to be up in one of those computer rooms when it happened, because even the circuit breakers arced over and melted. Like, the generator didn't even break a sweat, it just kept pumping out amps until everything was fried. By the time you hit the stop button on the diesel, it was too late. Something like $2.6 million worth of electronics destroyed. Even the HVAC systems didn't survive. If they had 240 volts supplied to any of the HVAC systems, they died. The lighting, the computers, everything. That generator was supposed to run the building when the power went down. Instead it supplied 415 volts to the 240 volt side. Whoops. So yeah, if you're mucking around with 3-phase stuff, don't mess the pinouts up. If you want to change the direction of a motor, you can reverse L1 and L2 and it'll change direction, but do not reverse, or do not confuse neutral and 2 phases, because yeah, it's very easy to get 415 volts to your 240 volt supply or 240 volt electronics. And yes, they do make a hell of a pop when they get 415 volts at quite a lot of amps. So yeah, that's a little bit on Australian 3-phase and one friend's experience with it. And that's a 10 amp socket too. It's got the little square land at the bottom, not the flat. I just need a new button for it, or rotary switch knob. It's busted off, but that'd be good. I got the other part of the housing too. Anyway, I'm about out of battery, and I'm also going to go and do a bit more tidying up in here, and yeah, it's about all for now. And thanks for watching. I'll work out when we're going to scrap this EDM, and hopefully I'll be able to do a little bit of discreet filming. I know I get a lot of questions about where I work, but I cannot answer that. I don't need people knowing where I work. I do work in the pool industry, that's all you need to know. So yeah, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more.